Namaste. Welcome to yet another session of Conversations on Consciousness. We have a very special guest with us today. Namaste, Hari Om, Swamini Brahmaprajnananda ji. Thank you so much for joining us. Could you please share with us your spiritual journey? What have been some events in your life that led you towards the path of Vedanta?
So I will share something from this lifetime. I do believe that the journey of life is essentially a spiritual journey. It may appear to be a journey of work, career, travel, marriage, children, and so on. But the heart that longs for fullness is at the heart of all our journeys. I will talk about 3 Gs that have dominated my life. The first is my grandfather, Ajja, second is Guru, and third is grace. So the first G, my grandfather. So this is around childhood. I was studying in a convent in Mumbai, very inspired by nuns and their life. Although a Hindu Brahmin by birth, I used to read the Bible and sincerely pray to Jesus, convinced that my spiritual angst will come to an end only if I convert to Christianity. So at that time, for me, Hinduism was outdated and not logical. Then with this preteen rebellion and dismissive air, I shared my decision to convert. I was all of 11 or 12 with my Ajja, my grandfather. And he asked, why do you want to do this? So I said, oh, Hinduism is inferior and so on. And he listened very quietly. And he said, you can earn your right to criticize anything only when you have understood it. What do you understand about Hinduism? First you learn, and then you wait until you are an adult to convert. So that seemed very, very logical to me. And my Ajja was a follower of Adi Shankaracharya. So he started sharing a lot of books, and I was so inspired by Swami Vivekananda, J. Krishnamurti, Osho, lot of great sages, Swami Chinmayananji. And all this I read along with Nancy Drew, Hardy Boy, Sidney Sheldon, etc. But I do believe that Jesus saved me from Christianity. Since I couldn't figure out God, let me figure out human beings, and then I ventured into psychology. Then the second G that has dominated my life has been gurus. So the first time I met Swami Brahmaprajnananda, it was at a workshop that was related to psychology. He appeared very wise. So I asked him if he was conducting Vedanta classes, and then he told me the address. So next day I landed up there. And the first Vedanta class I went to, and I was in my, I think, early 20s, I really felt like I had come home. And then I started attending a lot of classes along with work. Then I attended a camp by Puja Swami Dayananji in Anikatti. And I remember praying very fervently to Dakshinamurti in the temple. So please make it possible for me to study full time. This is what I want. I was so clear then. This is what I want. I will devote my whole life to this glorious tradition of Vedanta. And then it took almost 10 years after that camp for it to come true. And then, of course, thirdly, grace, Ishvara Anugraha has been there my whole life. I see as a big flow of blessing. A lot of lessons of being a sadhu I learned from street children, actually, about living in the present, being very tough, not worrying about what's going to happen in the future. So it was very, very fulfilling to contribute to street children's lives, which I did for a good 15 years as a part of one's career. And that, I would think, prepared me with sufficient adhikaritva. Of course, the people I've met, my parents, my brother, friends, relatives, so much has contributed, and I just see it as all the way lot of anugraha, lot of grace.
To the next question, could you please share the experiences you had while learning under the guidance of Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji? Who were the other acharyas who have been a constant source of inspiration and guidance for you?
I was in touch with Puja Swamiji since the year 2000. For me, he was Rishis, Devatas, and Adi Shankaracharya all rolled into one. So I have a confession. I cannot talk much about him because I get very moved. So we will see how we do because I so deeply love and revere him. So my time in the full-term residential course, it was really like being in Swarga. Because, one was at the Guru's feet, to listen to him every day, to touch his feet, to share things with him, to listen to how he unfolded the Shastra such that one cannot but see the reality. So direct, so immediate. So lot of blessing. Then let me share one of his responses to a question we had asked in Satsang. So this is a typical question that Vedanta students will ask. How does one know that one is understanding Vedanta well? He paused for some time. He looked around and then he said, when you are growing in compassion. We were really taken aback by his reply. We thought he might refer to some Siddhi Granthas or Shankara Bhashya or Akhandakara Vritti. And he just simply said, when you are growing in compassion. And he always showed us the mirror of reality, absolute or Vyavaharika, Paramarthika, whatever. But of course, through all of it, Paramarthika Satyam is all there is. So his emphasis on the sadhana of Vedanta not being a theory or a practice, it is you. That really was a great teaching. Otherwise, it's very easy to make Vedanta into a bunch of concepts or keep it little academic and away from oneself. Then another observation and learning also from Puja Swamiji was the way in which he interacted with everyone. So while in the ashram, any opportunity I would get, I would always run to his kutia. And there were a few of us like that. So he would receive all kinds of people, people asking for money, for medical help, loans, different pandits from temples, famous politicians, singers, dancers, staff, students, and everyone he met with great kindness. The meeting may have just been for a few minutes, but at that time, for him, that person was the most important to him. He was present 100%. And everyone felt that they were special to him. So his presence was really like this huge, big, loving embrace. And from time to time, he would look at us and then say something, and every moment with him was like a learning opportunity. And once he looked at us and he said, I always think about how best I can help this person, whoever came to him. And just all very, very profound. Then, of course, in terms of other acharyas, Swami Brahmaprajnananda, my initial guru, with whom I studied Vedanta part-time in the sense that it was alongside career, not full-time. But Swami Brahmaprajnananda made a huge impact on me. Brilliant, amazing clarity on Vedanta as well as other bodies of knowledge. Extremely fearless and very approachable and down to earth, very unlike swamis, like how Shukashtakam says, ko vidhi ko nishedaha. But he's such a free, unconditioned person. So no vidhi, no nisheda applies, in the life of freedom that he leads. And it is a blessing that I continue to work with him. And, we're building an ashram close to Mumbai. But I often joke with him, and I used to joke with Puja Swamiji that I'm sure I saved your life in some previous lifetime, because only that can explain all that you all have done for me in this lifetime. The gratitude is so much. Then besides these stalwarts, Swami Sakshat Kritanandji, he was the Acharya of our course, besides Puja Swamiji, and he has an amazing ability to summarize any text. It could be Adhyasa Bhashya, it could be an Upanishad, or it could be a chapter of the Gita. This summarizing ability was quite extraordinary. Also, his kindness for everyone and his Vak Tapas. I have rarely ever heard him say anything unnecessary. Whatever he said, it does not cause agitation. Much like how Bhagavan Krishna says in 17th chapter. So, Anudvegakaram Vakyam doesn't cause agitation. It is Satyam. It is always true. It is Priyam, very pleasant, and it is Hitam, necessary. And Swadhyaya also, he, even at 65, 70, he thinks about, okay, I have to memorize this particular text if I want to teach it, and so on. Then, of course, Swami Vishardananji, who lives in Mysore, very quiet life, and great love for Shastra and great love for depth. So that is very inspiring. Then, Swami Vivekanandji, Ramana Maharshi, so many sadhus that one has learned from. And I have a lot of respect for all sadhus of different sampradayas. So one continues to learn from all of them. Yeah.